You can look at me more, though. You don't have to...
Do you want me to look at you?
Yeah, well, like, just be more loose.
Okay.
All right. When you're getting ready to get married, everybody has all this advice for you, and everybody tells you, like, don't have kids right away. Travel and do a bunch of stuff and get to know each other as well as you can first. And I don't know, like, we heard all that, but maybe it's arrogant of us, but we heard it and we were just like,
No.
no.
Let's go for it. We decided right away that we should just try and see what happens. And which was my idea.
Yeah.
By the way.
That was her idea.
Just saying. So after being married for about a year and nothing happening, we decided to look into it more with our doctor.
Heather had been told in the past that she might have trouble conceiving, and she told me that. I knew that really early on when we were dating.
When I was growing up, I was sexually abused at home for about 5 years. And then when I was 11, I was hospitalized. Because my body was still developing, they told me that I would still have some permanent damage. So flash forward to last fall, when we discovered that both of my tubes were blocked. I had to ask the doctor the hardest question. So, yes, that's the reason we can't have children, is because of that abuse.
It's very hard to express the anger. I remember about a week after we found out, we were out to dinner with some friends and we were talking about it and sharing with them, and I blew up over some little thing while we were talking about it. Like, I thought that I was ready to talk about it, and I was not. You could be the most level-headed person in the world, and it still just takes so long to process all of this. There's just so many feelings to unpack, and we're still in the process of trying to just, like, work through all of that.
Our doctor told us that with my tubes blocked, they would be a liability. So leaving them in would be hurtful for me. So thankfully in January, we were able to take them out. It was a huge stretch. I mean, Jason's parents helped us. We saved up. It took a lot out of us financially.
So what the surgery means is that with her tubes removed, our only option to have kids is through something called in vitro fertilization. IVF is incredibly expensive, and it's very rarely covered by medical insurance.
So right now, all that's holding us between becoming parents is money.
Which is
so hard.
So hard. Everyone keeps telling you to pray for the miracles, right? Now, with the surgery already complete, like, we're kind of past the point where a lot of people tell you to expect and pray for the miracles. So we're just in a weird spot. And so when we were asked to tell this story now, we were really hesitant because, like, we don't have a happy ending yet. This isn't finished, it's not resolved. And that's been tough for us to figure out, like, how do we tell this story? But we decided that we wanted to tell it anyway, even though we're still in the process of figuring out how God's gonna redeem all this.
God has taught us so much through this. God's taught me to look for joy, even when I don't think there is any. And He's been reminding me that He knows the desires of my heart. He knows just how badly I want to be a mom, and He's making that happen. It just might not be in my timing.
I was told by someone that when you get married, you need to look for someone that you can imagine suffering with, because it's gonna happen. Like, you're gonna suffer. And I absolutely have the best teammate that I could ask for, but it is still, like, it's hard when you don't know what the answer is. when you don't know how the story ends. And God's taught me that you just keep singing. Life is way messier than anybody tells you, but you keep singing anyway. And we try so hard to remind each other not to be blind to God's faithfulness. Like, it's important when you're going through something like this to keep remembering that the food on your table is from God, and the gas in our cars is from God, and one day when we have kids, like, we're gonna be so sure that they're from Him. They are gonna be crying, wiggling, super spoiled little testimonies to how faithful God is. And we just can't wait to see how He does it, and we can't wait to tell this testimony one day.